Hi guys, my name is Derek and welcome to my YouTube channel. So I've recently started I'm trying to put up tutorials showing you guys how I edit my pictures and what I do, things that I pay attention to, things that I change up. So I'm just gonna rush into it. I'm just gonna really try and fast forward even other processes so that this video is not too long. So what I usually use for my pictures is I use Lightroom and Photoshop. So that's Lightroom, I use it for fine-tuning my picture, so that's for the brightness, the contrast, and that's where I set the tone for my picture. Then I refine the picture in Photoshop and retouch it there. So today I'm going to be editing the recent shoot that I had in Namibia. Worked with two models, but I'm just gonna add, I'm just gonna edit one picture today and show you how I achieved, the feel. So this is the picture. So first thing that I do is to check, obviously, if my focus is on point. And once I'm happy with the focus, the other thing that I do before I start working on anything is to check the cropping, to see if I'm happy with the cropping. So yeah, I think I really just want a bit more in the middle. Yeah, that works for me. And what I've done to keep my workflow easier, I created presets. So please don't mind the names. I created presets for certain types of shoots that I have. So it really depends. It could be a corporate, and then I have this for family. I don't even know how I named this, but anyway, I know what I'll be looking for in terms of when I'm adding a preset to. And for this, I'm going to use this. So I'm just going to run through the presets for you guys to see. Oh, sorry, it's not this one. I'm going to run through the presets that I've put. Yeah, it's this one. So I'm going to run through the presets so that you guys see what I've done and the things that I usually do basically. So for my pictures, I usually want to add the temperature. Like I want the temperature because I like my pictures a bit warm, and the tint as well. And then I pump up the exposure and the contrast, and then I usually reduce my highlights so that I have my skin's texture. I like to have the detail, and then I pump the shadows up again, so you can play around with these things. So you see, if you bring down the shadows, it's like you lose detail. So I want my shadow up there so that I get the detail. And if I want to reduce, I will use something else, which is not the shadows, if I want the blacks. And then I bring down the whites as well, and then I just play around with the blacks. I add my clarity, my vibrance, and I desaturate. I like my pictures a bit desaturated. And then here I worked with the colors. So with the blue, I remove the blue. Let me bring it back. So you see that there's a bit of blue on the dress, which is what I didn't want. So I reduced the blue, and I think this preset works perfect for it because I get the white that I need. And for this picture, I'm trying to go for a more goldish type of feel. So yeah, I'm just gonna be reducing any other colors and adding more red and yellow to bring the gold. So on my orange, which is the skin tone, I reduced it a bit and I added a bit of yellow, and I reduced the yellow here because yeah, it doesn't make a big difference, yeah, but it does something. It does something. I think it's just a matter of playing around with it. And for my split toning, I think I have a standard. I usually put my highlights on blue and my shadows on red, and I just play around with the saturation there. I don't do anything on my sharpness or noise reduction. I don't like how Lightroom sharpens pictures, so I tend to use Photoshop for that. And then I enabled the profile correction. So this is before and this is after. And what else did I change? I think here the color calibration, because I'm going for that gold, I reduced my blue primary hue to get more of a red type of feel, and then I added the red as well. So that's basically what I did in my Lightroom. So once I'm done with that, I then open my picture in Photoshop. If you have Photoshop installed, it should just connect to your Lightroom right away. So waiting to, then there we go. So once my picture is open, the first thing that I do is I duplicate the layer so that in case I make any mistakes. And then I really like zoom my skin, because the first thing that I do is to clear the skin, and I'm going to be using the patch tool for that. So there's so many ways that you can go around this. You can use spot healing brush tool. I prefer the patch tool because it keeps the texture for my skin. So what I'm basically doing here, this model had great skin, so I'm not going to be doing a lot. So it's just removing these parts. So I circle the part that I don't want, and then I choose the part that I want to replace it with. So it's a very easy process. Cycle, and yeah. So I'm going to fast forward this part so that the video is not too long. Okay, so once I'm done with the clear, I'm just going to show you the before and after so that you see. So this is the before, this is the after, this is the before, this is after. So they're really like small changes, but then they make a very big difference. So when I'm done with that, I then go to my dodge and burn. So what I've done again for my workflow in Photoshop is I've created the actions. You can download this on the internet, or you can actually just message me. You can email me or on Instagram, and I can send you my actions, the ones that I use. So there's the one for frequency version that I don't use anymore, and I just really I prefer the more manual cleaning, and then I do most dodge burning. So there's the dodge and burn, which I'm going to use now. So on my dodge and burn, I use the curves. So there's the curves for dodging, and then the curve for my burning, and then there's this black and white filter. So for this black and white filter, it helps me to know where to dodge and burn. Basically, I'm just going to show you in a bit. So I pick my brush, and then I reduce the reds here. So when I reduce the reds, I'm now able to see my highlights and my shadows, so I know where to dodge. So it's like a guideline for me. Then when I'm done, I then remove the filter. So I'm gonna start with my dodging, and now I'm just dodging the light parts, where I want to highlight more. And yeah, so I usually start with the more detailed stuff, and then I dodge the overall picture. So I'm gonna dodge, and I'm gonna fast forward this part as well so that I don't waste time. Okay, so once I'm done, I then check the differences. That's when you really see the big differences that it brings to the picture. So this is before, and this is after. This is before, and this is after. And when I'm done, I then go to my burning. So I think dodge and burn to me is like contouring, to those people who have basic knowledge for makeup. So it's like just contouring the face and bringing more shape to it. So for my burning, I like to burn the sides of the face so that I bring more focus to the front face. So I'm gonna burn the hair to make it a bit more darker, and all these sides I'm gonna burn. You can't really see the difference when you're doing it. I think it becomes, you just know, like the more you do it, you then know what you're trying to achieve. But I'm going to show you guys the difference, the before and after, after when you're done. So even the hands where there is shadow, I'm gonna burn more. It really gives the picture more definition. So yeah, then when I'm done, I'm me show you the difference. So this is before, this is after, this is before. So when I'm done, I can now remove this black and white, and then I just really like keep it I can keep it clean now because I can now see. So this is before dodge and burn, and this is after. So before dodge and burn, and this is after dodge and burn. So yeah, that's about it for my dodge and burn. And when I'm done, I usually add the curves to add more contrast. So I'm pressing my out, and it shows me the detail that I'm gaining as I move the bars. Yeah, I think this looks good for me. Then when I'm done, I then go to the color grading, and for the color grading now I use the hue saturation. I think I use two things, the hue saturation and the color balance bar. So I'm trying to go for the golden look as I mentioned before. So yeah, I'm just gonna play around now with the colors to get what I want. The reds, I think I'm gonna reduce them a bit, and I think I'm gonna reduce the saturation for the reds as well. And yeah, I think that's good for me. And the yellows, I'm gonna add more yellow and reduce the lighting. There go, trying to get that gold look. The blue, now there isn't much, but I'm just gonna reduce the saturation and add the reds. I think I want a bit more of red there. Okay, so when I'm done, I then go to my color balance. I don't really do much here, just a few tweaks, to get the color that I'm going for. Yeah, I'm just gonna put it on 1. Then I want to add a bit of yellow as well. Very small differences, but then they make, small changes, but they make a big difference. So this is before, and this is after. And then when I'm done, I'm gonna go to my gradient. So I really like to add a bit of gradients, light to this picture. So I'm gonna use the diamond one, and I'm gonna put 1 here and 1 on the other side. It really brings more focus to the face. Yeah, I'm gonna put the other one on the other side, so I'm gonna make it diamond as well. And you can always then reduce the opacity for these if you feel like it's too much. So yeah, for me I think that's good. I'm gonna reduce the scale a bit. Yeah, I think that's good for me. And then when I'm done, wait, I think I want to reduce the saturation a bit. Yeah, so when I'm done, how I usually save, I think this is pretty much, and I can add the sharpening. So I have an action as well. If you want this, I can always send it to you. So I'm gonna add this happening too as well now. Yeah, so let me show you the difference that it brings. So this is before, this is after. This is before, and this is after the sharpening. And I like to reduce it maybe to about 50. Then when I'm done, how I usually save my picture, I go on File, Export, Save for Web, and yeah, because this is what I do for my Instagram. For printing, it's a different story, but for my Instagram, so I change this image size to 1080, then I save. Yeah, I'm just gonna write 345 to add. Okay, once I'm done, I also add this to my Lightroom just in case. And I'm also going to show you guys the difference between the raw image and the final that we got. Alright, so oops, what just happened? Anyway, oh, sorry, just trying to look for the picture. So there we go. So this is the before, and this is the after. Before, and this is after the edit. So now you can really see the difference that it makes. I'm sorry that there's so many because I edited this picture before. I just had to restart the. So yeah, now you can see the differences. Before, this is the before, this is the after. So yeah, that's about it. That's how I edit my pictures, and thank you for watching. Let me know, guys, if you would like to see more of these tutorials of how I edit my pictures, and also you can comment in below, what you would want to see more of. I know I've been slacking, but I'm trying to create content. I'm gonna try and post a video, per week or every 2 weeks from now, and as I get used to it, I'm just gonna try and post as more as I can. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you, and please share and subscribe, like, drop in some comments, and yeah, cheers.